Okay, it's just preparing to live stream.
It'll buffer, I think.
Yeah. I'm not panicking at all.
So guys, we'll probably just talk a bit whilst people sort of jump on. So I'll just talk about random things, so we don't waste any of our jewels. It's obviously recorded for 30 days, so people will be able to listen to it anyway for 30 days.
Okay, we're on now.
Right, Noswaithar, good evening, everyone. Oh, Prandar, it feels like more afternoon, I must say. Thank you, everybody, for joining one of my Facebook, Freeport Facebook Lives. I've had many of these now, and they've gone down really, really well. And we've got some fantastic guests on tonight, Pradair and his team from M-Sparc. But before I introduce them, I just wanted to give a bit of a recap. I'm on recess now, and that doesn't mean as an MP that we stopped working. I was at Lyngorch Village Hall this morning. I had a fantastic panel there with the Mayor of Holyhead, Adrian, and her wife Mia. They did fantastic toasters there. Then I went into my office in Holyhead to catch up with my team. Popped into Raymond's the Butchers, and obviously Ian Ashworth at the post office at the chocolate box. Then I've been down to Newborough. I've just had a meeting regarding Freeport, some of the Freeport governance, and then tomorrow I'll be catching up with Morlice and the team there, along with Janet Finch-Saunders, who's the Conservative MS for Aberconway. I've got a meeting regarding the National Lottery Community Fund to try and get funding for Holyhead Hotspurs, and then I'm going to the Menai Bridge Cricket Club. I sponsor several football and rugby clubs and bowls clubs and cricket clubs across the island, so I'll be going to see the Menai Bridge team. But tonight is my Facebook Live, and I would love to welcome Pradair and his team. They have one of the most fantastic buildings on the island. So Pradair, perhaps you'd like to introduce yourself, Lois and Emily, please.
I will, absolutely. Evening, everyone. I'm Pradair. I'm the Managing Director here at Menai Science Park, or M-Sparc, as we like to call ourselves. So the Science Park, for anyone who's watching who's never been over, you're very welcome to come over. It's a fantastic cafe here by Becclesmorn, the bakery in Gailwen, to start off with. So come over, we've got some fantastic coffee, and do engage with us. We're really eager to engage with the community of Anglesey, and an opportunity like tonight to communicate with the electorate of Anglesey is fantastic for us. But apart from fantastic coffee, what we offer is hopefully some innovation, some fantastic companies who are looking to grow and create some great jobs for people to stay on the island and in their communities, and support the culture and everything else that we value around Anglesey. So in a nutshell, we're all about developing innovation, creating well-paid jobs, and helping the people of Anglesey. And I'm joined tonight by Lois and Emily, and I'll ask them to introduce themselves, if that's all right, Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely, Lois, Emily. Great to have you on board.
Lois, do you want to go first, maybe?
Yeah, so I'm Lois, I'm the Business Support Officer here at M-Sparc, provides all wraparound support, advice and guidance to all our tenants. We're hoping, helping them grow, develop, engage with Bangor University, and see them prosper here on the island.
Perfect. And I'm Emily. I'm the Outreach and Community Manager here at M-Sparc. So that means I'm responsible for the events that we have here, taking M-Sparc on tour. So you might have seen us on Bangor High Street recently, and the skills and outreach work we do with schools as well. So some of you may have been here recently with your little ones to Club Sparky, and if not, please feel free to join us at the next one, where we try and inspire young people for the jobs that are coming up.
Wow, it's fantastic. I can feel your enthusiasm from here, Emily. So Anglesey Freeport. Now, it's been really, really exciting news. The Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, his first visit to Wales was here to Anglesey. He flew in via helicopter to RAF Valley. He spent the Wednesday evening seeing a lot of the pilots and a lot of the search and rescue, the cadets, BAE Babcock, BAE Systems, and the choir actually. The wives choir as well, and so he had a fantastic Wednesday evening at RAF Valley, and then on the Thursday he came to Holyhead and was with Stena Line and the Anglesey Council, and also the First Minister Mark Drakeford as well, and we had the Secretary of State for Wales, David T.C. Davis. So it was a huge celebration, and it's something I've been working on for the last 3 years. I set up and I chaired the Anglesey Freeport Bidding Consortium. I've mentioned Anglesey, our bid for Anglesey to be a Freeport more than 30 times in the House of Commons chamber, and so much so that one of the ministers, Penny Morden, she's dubbed Thursdays, instead of being business questions, they're now Freeport Thursdays. And many ministers have been wandering around Westminster wearing our fantastic Anglesey Freeport jackets, and we've got our Anglesey Freeport bags as well. And we've also got lots and lots of red dragons. So it's been a really, really exciting few weeks, and it's been great to celebrate it with so many people across the island. But I wanted to set up these Facebook Lives so in order to answer your questions. And I know we've had lots of questions that have been emailed in. Thank you, Jochen, for that. And we've also got lots of questions coming through now. And of course, if you have questions after this Facebook Live, it'll be available for the next 30 days for you to be able to watch it and share it. But please do email me, drop me an email, and I'll be happy to reply to you. So it's taken 3 years of hard work. There are 2 Freeports in Wales. We've got our bid in the north and we've got a bid in the south, the Celtic bid. They're both very much based on net zero and innovation, and that's something certainly that Pryderi will be talking about. There are 8 Freeports in England. There are 2 green Freeports in Scotland. And the benefits of a Freeport, they really do encourage investment. They encourage investment into an area, and particularly in areas that need levelling up. Anglesey's got one of the lowest GVAs, gross value added, of any constituency in the UK. And I've certainly been working hard to ensure that we have that investment. We've had £17 million from the Levelling Up Fund, £16 million from the Shared Prosperity Fund, £20 million for the refurbishment of the Holyhead Breakwater. It was announced in the budget a few weeks ago. The Inland Border Facility in Holyhead, that's 200 fantastic, good quality jobs. All 6 bids from our Community Renewal Fund. Bid £2.7 million was successful, and I know Pryderi and his team have been very instrumental in making sure a lot of those funds have been used to support employment and encourage businesses on the island, particularly relating to the Welsh language. And we've had almost £1 million from the Safer Streets Fund to invest in ensuring our streets are safer. But I won't stop there. I'm absolutely delighted that we've got Freeport status, and I'm going to be keeping going to do everything I can to ensure that we get space in the ground for Wilver. And one of my next guests is actually going to be the nuclear minister, Andrew Bowie. For the first time, we've got a nuclear minister, and he's agreed to do one of my Facebook Lives over the next few weeks. So do please watch out for that. So for Pryderi, so what role will M-Sparc play in the Anglesey Freeport, and how will the people of Anglesey benefit from the Freeport status?
Oh, thanks, Virginia. I really appreciate the hard work that you've been putting into the bid as well, and the team around the bid, the partners, the Stena, the council, and everyone. It's been a collective to get us here. So I really appreciate that, Virginia. In terms of M-Sparc, we're looking forward to delivering the innovation part, really. Innovation, if you look at the prospectus for a Freeport, it plays a vital part. It's at the heart of what a Freeport is. You can imagine goods coming in and components coming in, and what do you do with them, and how can you be innovative? How can we develop new products here, attract companies here perhaps to establish and export that value, that knowledge, if you like, then all over the globe from Wales or from Anglesey. So for us, it's all about generating knowledge, IP, generating good, nice, new ideas, and creating jobs. Ultimately, Virginia, it's about developing companies who are looking to grow, be they in digital, be they in manufacturing, be they in the energy sector, and that's the focus of the Freeport, of course, is the energy sector, and being on the energy island. So how can we generate that value and add value to components, to knowledge, to ideas coming into the science park? And then, of course, we get the benefits, the jobs, the skills, and so forth. So we're really looking forward to being at the heart of innovation in the bid, and linking people like the partners from Stena, like you mentioned, to our fantastic university in Bangor, and helping to kind of generate these ideas, these new IP-rich companies that we can then add value to their products coming in and export them across the globe.
That's right. And Pryderi, you and I, we're working together to have, there's going to be a couple of events on the island to ensure that businesses and entrepreneurs and everybody really can understand how they can work to actually capitalise and benefit from the island having Freeport status. I've been taking a lot of companies around the island. I'm sure a few people saw me last Friday up in the north of the island, up at Wilver, and I went to the Roscoe site and to Blueberries into the market there in Amlock. So taking a lot of companies, international companies around the island. We've had more than 40 letters of endorsement from international companies. These are companies that are looking to invest on the island because we have Freeport status. It's not about taking business or investment from the rest of the Wales. This is companies that are looking to invest specifically on Anglesey. And as Pryderi said, we're known as Energy Island. We've got wind, wave, solar, tidal, hydrogen, and hopefully new nuclear at Wilver. And the companies that I've been taking around, the average salary of these companies is double that of the average salary here on Anglesey. So there's a lot of opportunities there for existing businesses and our existing people, and this is what we want to do. My dad had to leave Wales to find work, and I'm just determined that other people do not have to leave Wales, and I want to make sure that our young people have got good quality careers, and those careers can be right here on the island. I did Anglesey Skills Day in Westminster, and it was fantastic to have all these apprentices from the island actually come to Westminster and to really, for me, to showcase that the talent that we have with all these ministers. And we had the Secretary of State for Education came along, the Secretary of State for Wales. All these ministers could see this fantastic talent that we have. And I think that the role I want to do is to ensure that we keep that talent on the island. And the best thing that I can do for the Welsh language is jobs. If we don't have any jobs, the Welsh speakers will leave. And when I went to see Hinkley C recently and Hinkley B, there was a couple of young apprentices. One was from Gwynedd and one was actually from Anglesey, both Welsh speakers, and it was such a shame for me to see these young people having to work so far away from their homes and their communities and their families, and they're taking the Welsh language with them. So if we can work together to ensure that we've got some good quality jobs. And I'd say it's not only young people. And I was actually at Two Sisters on Friday, and it's absolutely terrible news that Two Sisters has closed with the loss of over 700 jobs, but 400 of those people are 24 years old and younger. But there are some older people. This is an opportunity to have jobs for everybody. It's not just about young people, it's about people changing career or looking to do different things. So Emily, in terms of skills, that's obviously a key part of our Freeport, ensuring that the people on the island have actually got the skills to take up some of these fantastic jobs that Pryderi was talking about. So if we're working together to make sure we've got these skills, and then we've got these companies coming, it really is ensuring that we work as a team. How are you working to make sure that happens?
Definitely. Well, I'll come at that from two angles, if I may. So first, as M-Sparc, we ourselves are developing our skills programme at the minute. We've got a new venture called Skills Spark, which we're working from primary to secondary school to 16 plus to ensure people have those STEM skills, science, technology, engineering and maths, and to make sure, as you said, Virginia, that people are aware that there's opportunities on the island. If young people don't develop these skills now with the hope that there's a job when they grow up, then they're going to not have those skills when we need them. So it's important that we start targeting young people, and we're doing that as M-Sparc now. What we also have is our Skills Academy, where we take people who, for whatever reason, might be struggling to get work. So for example, they might have a qualification but no experience, or they may be one of those self-taught people who can't show you on paper that they have the qualification to do something. We're working to put people like that in industry for 6 months to develop that experience and to make sure they go on to get employment. And around 80% of people who take part in Skills Spark do go on to get full-time employment afterwards. So we know that it works. So coming from the Freeport angle, we have been discussing options like this and how we can support it and use those initiatives in our experience to ensure there's opportunities for local people. I think as well, people can be a bit worried, oh, I've never heard of a Freeport, so I don't know what skills there are, so it's probably not for me, I'll leave it. But that's the conversation that we're having. And to make sure that we can share what opportunities and skills people have, and maybe transferable skills that people wouldn't think will transfer to the roles coming from Freeport, and make sure that people can take real advantage of those. So those are ongoing conversations we're having at the moment.
No, that's right. It's very hard, Emily, to answer these specific questions that people have, like what exactly are jobs can be available. And people have been sending me CVs. I'm like, no, send those CVs to Monsief, because we don't actually yet know who's going to be investing. We're showing all these companies around. We're setting up the governance now. That will actually take a few months. So I think if you think about the energy island concept, we've got engineers in terms of construction, developers, accountants. I think there'll be. We're looking at 13,000 jobs. That's a significant amount of different jobs, but it's very hard, isn't it, to be prescriptive. And I think also, I was in a couple of schools actually on Friday, St Mary's in Holyhead, and also the Keighley Foundation School as well. And it's seeing these young students and talk, it's almost like we need to be talking about it now so that they hear about it in year 4, year 5, and year 6, and they're thinking about what they want to be when they're older. And it's great for them to have that idea that they can actually fulfill their goals and their ambitions and their dreams, but actually right here on the island. So Lois, a question for you, in terms of M-Sparc having any companies from abroad have invested and moved onto the island. So you've sort of what you're about to talk about epitomizes what we hope will happen more and more. So M-Sparc has experienced it already. So how's that actually worked, and how will these companies that have come from abroad and invested here, how will they then again be able to benefit from Freeport status?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of, so we have a program called Soft Landing Package. So we offer that to tenant companies that are looking to come over, become a tenant, become part of our ecosystem. So we've actually had 2 companies from Ireland come over the past 18 months. Set up specifically for a couple of reasons. With skills was one of them. They were desperate to grow the team here in North Wales and get that connection to Bangor University because of the School of Computer Science and Electronic Engineering. So we have apprentices who are into working with large brands with integrating data analysis. So it was a perfect connection with the course that's run and offered at Bangor University. So our role then was to support them with linking them with the right graduates at the right time. So we held a skills expo here at M-Sparc last year, and through that 2 actual graduates directly got employed following that event. We've actually got another event coming up at the end of April, 27th, here as well, another skills expo. So it'll be great again for any employers who are looking, to employ and grow, but also as well, for any graduates, job seekers looking connect with employers here to come along to that. But yeah, so that was really great for them. We've also got Micro and Agritech, who again came over from Dublin last year. They came over via a hack that we ran, and it was about research, connecting them with Bangor University. There were local vets as well in the area, to help them develop their app. So again, it'll be quite exciting to see what more benefits we can offer international companies that want to come over with a Freeport status.
Excellent, thank you, Lois. And then we've had a few questions coming in, Pryderi. Make It Your Business, a group who encourage female entrepreneurs. They're saying, will M-Sparc need to expand to accommodate businesses coming into the Freeport? Will you have to expand, Pryderi? What are your plans?
We certainly will, Virginia. We are at 93% occupancy in this building, so we are bursting at the seams with those jobs that we want to see, which is great news. So to further kind of develop that impact that we want, I see no other option for us really than to expand and to collaborate as well with the local authority. For example, they have business units and so forth, so we can collaborate. We'd like to see companies come in here, germinate and grow, and even open offices in Llangefni or whatever it may be. So it's not just about this site. But I think to answer the question, we will definitely
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Jerry. And then there's a question here from Frederica John. When do you expect Freeport to commence on Anglesey? Also, do you think the council will now prioritise affordable housing to enable the future generations to remain on the island? Yeah, absolutely, Frederica. We do need to have investment into social and affordable housing. There's a real shortage here on the island, and I think it's paramount that we've got these young people we are starting out on life, and we want to be able to ensure that they've got good quality homes in places that they actually want to live. So I would expect that we will actually see some investment and more affordable housing, and to prioritise that. Michael Garner, he says, when will companies start investing? Oh, Michael, I'm on the case. I'm absolutely on the case. Please be assured I'm doing everything I can. I have regular meetings with, I brought GE Hitachi round. I've had meetings with EDF, Bechtel, Westinghouse, Rolls-Royce. I've had meetings with the Koreans, just so many companies. I either bring them around the island or I'm having meetings in Westminster. So doing everything I can to ensure that we can get investment right here on Anglesey. The question for Pryderi: energy and low carbon energy features strongly in the proposal. What did M-Sparc do in this field, and what are the opportunities for the region?
Yeah, we're on the Energy Island, so we've been working as part of the Energy Island initiative, Virginia, to drive that impact that we want in the region. So we have a low carbon team here headed up by Dr. Debbie Jones. And that team delivers a number of projects. They support strategic developers on the island, just like yourself, probably Virginia, to embed themselves in the local community and to kind of progress through the various consenting processes and to deliver those economic impacts, community benefit impacts that we're looking from the larger energy projects on the island. So our team is working with those developers, but they're also working with SMEs to understand their own carbon footprints and to understand how they can lower their emissions and save on cost. And with the cost of running a business these days, that's quite an important part for us to play in that role. We were looking forward to the Freeport. I think the opportunities are wider, aren't they? We've got some fantastic developments on the island, like Modern Ice, who are looking to bring in inward investments from across the globe, some fantastic manufacturers and so on. How can we then, as M-Sparc, support those developers to secure that inward investment, but also to multiply that, if you like, by making sure that we've got the skills and that we've got the investment coming in as well, and linkages then to the university, should they need a particular kind of expertise in ocean science or sciences, for example, that we're able to make those linkages for those companies moving in. So there's a whole host of things that we could do, and we're very lucky that we have a team around energy, if you like, around low carbon energy, that's dedicated to looking after that particular sector.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, actually recruiting in that team.
Yeah.
So if you go on M-Sparc social media now, you will see full opportunities ranging from low carbon officers to degree apprentices, all within our ECNI low carbon team.
Excellent, very good pitch there. Really good. Send your CVs in, please. But just following on from that, Pryderi, I went to see Mona Lifting in Llangefni recently, and they've just installed solar panels actually on their roof. And they've a group Clangid no Menai been working with some of the money from the CRF, the Community Renewal Fund, in terms of helping companies across Anglesey be net zero. And Mona Lifting were showcasing their solar panels, but they're working with I think it's more than 15 companies, the likes of Red Boat Ice Cream in Bromaris and various other companies. And I think there's so many businesses on the island that really are leading the way in terms of their business model and how they're investing and supporting their staff and the direction of their companies to deliver net zero, to such an extent that my Anglesey Day in Westminster in October, I'm hoping to work with the M-Sparc and colleague Menai, and actually showcasing some of the amazing things that the businesses are doing here already on the island. And I think it would be great for the companies that are coming to invest to actually learn from us. And I think we'll have very, very high standards, as we should, in terms of the companies that will be moving here. Emily, the Freeport should amplify the opportunities to support the Welsh language. Can you elaborate on how we might deliver these opportunities?
Well, I think you said one of them yourself, Virginia, which is simply to have the jobs here to ensure we don't lose those Welsh speakers. But I think we also need to make it apparent that it isn't a sort of something that's brought in from the UK and planted in Wales. This is a Welsh Freeport, so everything should be bilingual, as we do it here at M-Sparc, and I know you do your interactions. Have the Welsh language apparent and visible and given the equal status that English language has on everything. Encourages people that little bit more to feel that this belongs to them, and encourage more Welsh people to take those job opportunities as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And I must say, I was talking to the Inland Border Facility, the team there in Holyhead, and they're very keen to encourage their staff to have Welsh lessons and actually to integrate in the community they've reached out to me to ask what sort of charities they can support. Can they help with sort of litter clearing up and beach cleaning, things like that? So a lot of companies already that are investing here are very keen to actually get in part of the community, and that of course means the Welsh language, which is so important here. So we've got a couple more minutes. In terms of a lot of the questions that come through, I think people are concerned about the salaries, just ensuring that this is that these are good quality careers. And Pryderi, what comfort can you give people that not only will they be good quality jobs, but those jobs will do everything we can to ensure that those jobs go to local people here on the island?
Absolutely, I think we're all, from the team, if you like, the Freeport team, aiming to retain and keep the benefits as local as we can. From our perspective here in M-Sparc, I know you said that the developers that you're talking to offer, on average, double the wage of the average on the island, which is fantastic. But from an M-Sparc perspective at the moment, we're not quite doing that. But on average, a wage of someone working in M-Sparc is about £5,000 higher than the Welsh average. So they are good jobs in M-Sparc, but we've also got work to do, Virginia, on the gender pay gap. We've got to make sure that women show an interest in science, technology and in enterprise, and that's why I was pleased to partner up with you, Virginia, on the recent day that we had celebrating women in business here. So they are great jobs already. We know from South Virginia that there's more to come, and those developers, potential developers coming onto the island, I'm sure, pay well as well. And we're all on the same page in terms of needing to show that local impact, and that's what's driving the consortium behind the Freeport at the end of the day. So yeah, quite buoyant and quite positive about that outlook, hopefully.
No, absolutely. And then just to reiterate that it's the whole island, it's the whole island that will benefit from Freeport status. And the four main sites are Gerwyn and M-Sparc, the Roscoff site up in the north of the island, and then Park Cubby and the Stena Line site in Holyhead. So those are the sort of four key tax and customs sites, but it's the whole island that will benefit. And actually not only the whole island, the whole of North Wales will benefit, quite frankly. I went to see Airbus recently, and there were 51 people working at Airbus in Broughton who actually live on Anglesey and they commute. So I think we might see them benefit as well. And I work very closely with some of my North Wales MPs colleagues, Robin Miller and Sarah Atherton and many others, to actually work on this bit, because they'll be benefiting from the whole sort of supply chain to this. We've got a couple of minutes left. What I would like to say, if you want more information, please do email me. If you would like to put in your CV, I would send it to Monsief. They are just collating CVs at the moment. It is going to be a bit of a time whilst we get the government sorted out, and a lot of it will depend on some of the companies investing. In the near term, what we're seeing is some of the existing companies on the island are already gearing up, and hopefully you'll see some of the sites on the island, I don't know, like the Woolworth site, say in Holyhead, hopefully we'll see some sort of changes there. So we will start to feel some tangible change here on the island, but we're probably looking in the near term around sort of 3,500 jobs in the near term, rising to sort of an additional 13,000 jobs, and those will take some time. So if you would like to find out more about how you as a business or an individual can benefit from the Freeport status, again, drop me an email. I'm keeping details of so Pryderi and I can invite you along to this event that we're planning to hold at M-Sparc. It will be essentially a presentation as to what slightly more sort of detail as to what Freeport is, and an opportunity for a specific Q&A relating to your business. So please do stay in touch. I haven't got a Freeport Live next week, and I've got one the week after. I've got the deputy chair of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson. If you Google him, I think he'll definitely be one to watch. And then after that, I've got Andrew Barry, who is the nuclear minister. My Freeport Facebook Lives are normally on a Tuesday. It was just unusually today on a Monday. And then I would, a couple of other things I wanted to add. Firstly, Bethan Davis, my fantastic chief of staff, won the equivalent of the parliamentary Oscars, and she's got a fantastic award. So big shout out and a clonga backyard. Congratulations to you, Bethan. And then a few things happening over the weekend. Easter Sunday, I'll be at St Cubby's Church in Holyhead doing the reading there. On Sunday from 11:30, the Holyhead Lifeboat, the RNLI team, are up at Chemice, up at the pier. There's also Coast Watch and sea kayaking and the local sea swimming club, and music from Keith Fitton and his band. And then we've got this Anglesey Open Studios. I don't know whether it's opened on Saturday. I've been to some of them already, but they're all around the island, and it's a great opportunity to support some of our local talent here. And I'd like to thank Mike Gould and his team for working so hard to make this such a success. But I wish you all a lovely evening, and a big diolch yn fawr thank you to Pryderi, Emily and Lois for explaining so eloquently as to how hard they're working to ensure that Anglesey Freeport is a success. And I look forward to seeing many of you across the island. Please do come up and say hello, speak to me in Welsh, and really look forward to seeing you over the next couple of weeks. Take care. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you.